Hello everyone, welcome to Daily News Protocol of the Hindu newspaper analysis of the Delhi edition contributed by Vishnu IAS Academy. Now we are going to see the news article for the date 30th March 2022. Our first topic for today is Mullaperiyar Dam. There is so much of news going on this project. We need to learn some facts and concepts regarding this project. If we can map the project, in the map it is located on the borders of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. If we can see specifically, it is inside the state Kerala. But the waters coming out from the Mullaperiyar Dam are being shared between the both states Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Right? If we can consider the location of this dam, it was on the Periyar river of Kerala. Right? It was constructed in the year 1895. Now, at present, the issue regarding this dam is the dam safety and the water's distribution between two states. So, that's why the Tamil Nadu and Kerala sought some more time to expand the constitution of the supervisory committee. There is a supervisory committee on this dam which was constituted in the year 2014. In recent years, when there was a petition was filed on this dam by a person from Idukki. So, that's why Supreme Court has considered his petition. So, that's why Supreme Court has ordered the governments of the states to reconsider the issues and the safety regarding the dam. So, that's why the states have to constitute the committee which was earlier right from the 2014, but now they wanted to expand its constitution, power and functions. Right? Moving forward, there are disputes between Tamil Nadu and Kerala regarding this issue. So, if we can consider the stands taken by the Kerala and Tamil Nadu, Kerala is saying that the dam is very much old. It is of 100 plus years of old. So, that's why considering the lives of the people, the dam can be constructed, a new dam can be constructed in this place. That's the stand of the state Kerala. But Tamil Nadu is saying that it is a very important dam for the people of the Tamil Nadu in areas of irrigation and drinking. That dam provides waters for irrigation and drinking for few districts of Telangana surrounding that dam. And also, Tamil Nadu argues that Kerala is keeping up this point to gain some unfair tax revenues out of the new construction. So, those are the stands by the both states. That's why the dispute occurs. So, in this backdrop, if we can consider the issues of Mullaperiyar Dam, there should be the committee, the supervisory committee should work on it further, and a possible solution should be reframed regarding this problem. Moving forward, let's see the next news article. The rhino population. The rhino population was increased in recent census by 200. If we can consider the recent news, the population of rhinoceros in Kaziranga National Park Tiger Reserve were increased 200 in last 4 years. Okay, and the last census was conducted in 2018, saying that there were 2,413 animals. Now that number was increased. And also, if we can consider the Indian species of rhinoceros, that is nothing but the great one horn or Indian rhino. It is also called as Indian rhinoceros. There are 5 types in rhinoceros. If we can consider the great one-horned, Javan, Sumatran, and black and northern white rhinoceroses. Okay, these 3 are from Asia, right? And these 2 are from Africa. Okay. And if we can consider the IUCN status of all these species, the great one-horned rhinoceros is of vulnerable condition. Vulnerable. And the Javan rhino is of critically endangered, and it is extinct. It was already extinct. So we don't have any animal regarding into this family of Sumatran rhinoceros, right? And black rhinoceros is of critically endangered. It is near threatened. Remember all these are very important considering your preliminary examination. Clear? So if we can consider some facts regarding this great one-horned rhinoceros, the IUCN we have learned this. The CITES status is Appendix 1 and the WO status is Schedule 1. Sorry, WPO, Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Okay. So there are some programs regarding the rhinoceroses. We need to learn those. The National Rhino Conservation Strategy 2019. It is specifically constituted to protect and conserve the great one-horned rhinoceros. Okay, if we can consider the great one-horned, only this species is found in India. This point is also important. Out of all these 5 species, only one great one-horned rhinoceros is present in India. In India, specifically in West Bengal, in Assam, in UP. In these 3 states, this species, the population of these species can be identified. And also there are some more missions regarding this animal. The New Delhi Declaration on Asian Rhinos 2019. It is also working to protect these species. The neighboring the 5 Asian countries are framed into a group and working on this point. And also there is a Rhino Vision 2020 which was constituted in 2005. Okay, all these are the points to be remembered regarding the rhinoceros. Moving forward, there are very much threats for this animal. If we can consider the threats of these, the poaching, it is having one horn, right? For that horn, the poaching is causing some threat to that animal. And also habitat loss, population density and decrease in genetic diversity. As the population of these animals are decreasing, just now in recent census its number is increased, but in previous years the number is decreasing. The genetic diversity is causing some issues, some diseases, some genetical diseases in the animals. That's why the population is getting affected. Clear? Now let's move on to the next topic, the saffronization of education. It is a very broad concept. We need to focus a little. The education system in India is being questioned by this article. Whether it to be saffronized or not, whether the traditional methods are to be followed or the modern technologies are to be followed, all these areas are being questioned by this news article. It is a very thought-provoking analysis. Let's try to understand. We Indians are following the Macaulay system of education. What is this? Macaulay was a member of the Governor Council right from the Britishers. He is the he played main prominent role to introduce the education in English medium in India. He is the prominent person. Okay, from those times, our Indian education system has gone through several changes, but the very introduction of the English into the education system was started from this point. Okay, now the question we need to question ourselves is to whether it is giving some benefits or whether it is lacking us behind. If we question that, it is dominant and damaging, both. Dominant in sense of inferiority and is damaging in sense of the traditional education. These are the concerns, right? Our traditional education is being damaged because of these new modern education systems. So that's why, and also our ancient civilization is getting damaged. So that's why there are concerns raised by our experts and philosophers. Moving forward, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, our former president, has suggested, earlier had suggested two processes. Those are nothing but a class day, and in the very first hour, in the morning of a class day in every educational institution, he suggested to follow some silent meditation, a few minutes of silent meditation. And also in the first year of degree, he suggested to introduce the lives of the great thinkers. Those great thinkers are not simply handpicked, but he very cleverly has identified and grabbed those personalities: Gautam Buddha, Socrates, Zoroaster, and Kabir, Nanak, Jesus, Sonkara, Ramanuja and Madhava. If we can consider all these personalities, they are from different philosophical backgrounds and different thinkings and different religious processes. So that's why our former president Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan had suggested to introduce subjects like these to protect our traditional educations and also to inculcate the provoking processes in the students. Clear? Moving forward, in this background, as we have discussed the topic education, let's learn some few facts of this. The term education, the education is present in the concurrent list. Okay, we know that we have 3 lists in our constitution. Okay, in that earlier the education was used to be in the state list. It was transferred to the concurrent list by the 42nd Amendment Act in 1976. We know all these facts. There are 5 terms were transferred from state list to the concurrent list. There are and also if we consider the constitutional provisions regarding the education, there is Article 45, Article 39F in the DPSP. These articles are suggesting the state to tackle the education as state funded as well as equitable and accessible education, to provide state funded and equitable and accessible education to all the citizens of the nation. Okay, and also if we can consider one amendment, 86th Amendment of 2002, it provides right to education as a fundamental right. With this amendment, we got Article 21A, that is right to education, a fundamental right for children between 6 to 14 years. Okay. Moving forward, you can learn some mnemonic here. These 5 things are education, weights and measures, and protection of wild animals, and administration of justice, and one more point, clear, and forests. You can learn a mnemonic here. If the justice is not protected, okay, the education will gone into forests. Like that, a mnemonic is there. You can remember these 5 points as these are the facts. Clear? Moving forward, the trade unions. There is a news on it. Actually, there are strikes. We are seeing strikes in recent newspapers. Why? Because there are some 10 central unions and several independent sectoral federations have come forward and announced some protest against the government, seeking their concerns are these areas: the monetization of national assets, the disinvestment of the national assets, and changes in labor laws, and unemployment, and hike in fuel prices. These are the main areas. These are the reasons of these strikes. And also in this backdrop, if we can consider the trade union. What is the trade union? It is nothing but an association. Let us think that, are there any constitutional background for this? Are there any provisions to conduct these trade unions? Trade unions are meant to protest against the government. Then if they are meant to disturb the society, disturb the system, why should we have trade unions? If we can think that, we can see the importance of trade unions. If we can study the importance of trade unions, we can get the answer to that question. So, the representation for collective bargaining, it is very much important. Why? Because the employer sometimes can exploit the work from the laborers. So that's why the collective bargaining is very much important, and also to secure better wages, job security, improvement in working conditions. To achieve all these things, the unions should be provided. The permission to frame the trade unions should be provided by the government. So that's why it helps to maintain a good relation between the employer and employee. And also, if there are healthy relations between these two personalities, the employee can also get into the collective responsibility along with the employer. So that's why the growth of the firm in a whole will go upper. Clear? That's the importance of trade union. If we can see the definition of trade union, it can be defined as an organized association. It is an association. Remember, this word is important. Association of workers in a trade or profession formed to further their rights and interests. Clear? And it is formed by an act, Trade Union Act 1926. In this backdrop, if we can consider, if there are any international institutions or organization to back this concept, there is one such organization called International Labour Organization. It was formed in 1990 by the Treaty of Versailles. The ILO specifically works on areas like, it will give social protection, it will ensure the social protection. If we can consider the objectives of ILO, it will work to provide work for all, work opportunities for all, and also it would frame some international standards, labor standards. Like that, the objectives of ILO are to protect the laborers and workers community. Okay. And also, if we consider, if there is any constitutional provision regarding this, there is a fundamental right numbered Article 19(1)(c) is there, that states to have right to form a trade union. Clear? Moving forward, let's see some prelims facts for the day. There is Silver Line project going to be planned in the state Kerala. What is this Silver Line project? If we can consider the map of Kerala, it will be in this shape from in north and south directions. So to reduce the journey line from northern point to southern point in the state, the governments are suggesting to frame some heavy, highly speed trains, those which can travel with higher speeds. Those projects are being proposed. The trains in these line will travel in 200 kilometers per hour. Generally, our trains will travel in nearly 40 to 60 kilometers per hour. But this is very high speed railway project line, if we can, semi high speed. But there are concerns behind this. The environmentalists are saying that it may cause some environmental disturbances. Considering to construct such projects, we may have to disturb some forests, we may have to replace some villages. So that's the concerns of environmentalists. But the state cabinet is saying that instead of your view, it may reduce the pollution. Why? Because the number of trains and vehicles used by this shortest line will be reduced, so that we can reduce environmental pollution. So that's the thing here, that is the fact for today. These are all the points. Revise all the current affairs topics, revise every day, and try to solve some MCQs on this, practice, and study well. Have a nice day. Thank you.